Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of We Are Legion Live. Tonight, joining us, we have the lovely and talented Taylor Teasley. How you doing tonight, Taylor?
Hey, I'm doing good. How are you?
Oh, I can't hear you.
Can't hear me. Okay. Let's see. Can you can you hear me now at all? Can you hear me at all or no?
Make sure your volume's turned up on your keyboard.
Yeah, it's turned up all the way.
Sorry about the delay, folks. A little bit of technical difficulties. We'll see if we can get them worked out here.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me at all?
Hang on. Okay, try now.
Hello.
Oh, hello. Okay. How you doing tonight, Taylor?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing great.
Good.
Been a little bit of a hectic day. Sorry, we had to move the time back a little bit.
No, you're
Uh,
fine.
but toddlers don't always seem to want to cooperate.
No, I'm glad that we could find a time.
Yeah. Why don't we start out and you tell everybody a little bit about yourself, and we'll
Absolutely.
get started from that.
Sure. Hello, everyone. My name is Taylor Teasley. I am a country artist from Southern California. I've been doing music my entire life through school, college, and whatnot. And last year in 2020, things kind of shifted for many musicians, and everything went virtual. And my Instagram was not public at the time. I've had an Instagram for years, and it was always private. Um, and I finally was like, okay, Taylor, like you need to you need to make that move and just make it public and start doing live streams or something on it because all our gigs, got canceled. Um, and so from there, that's kind of where more of the country music kind of journey really came in. I started meeting new people, doing, Q&As kind of like this. And from there, I've made new friendships. I started co-writing with a lot of people, which is a big thing that I am actually like in love with lately. I love doing co-writes. And I'm here. So it's been with everything that has happened, if there was a positive come out of it, it would be all the people that I have had the opportunity to meet and all the friendships that I've made and connections.
Yeah, it's definitely made it easier to expand your friendships over a wider area. Normally, people try in person; they have their friendships that are just there publicly. But the pandemic kind of made everybody reach out and use the internet more and build build stronger relationships with virtually strangers that they met online.
Oh yeah.
And that's basically. Do you have a Twitter account?
I do actually. Fun fact, I just opened it like a couple weeks ago. I'm still getting
Okay.
used to it.
Well, you should definitely hit me up. It's at Music Legion whenever we get done here, and we we that's where I started. This was on Twitter, and I started it actually in September of 19, but then someone reported me a bot at the end of October,
Mm.
and Twitter completely wiped my account and 2,500 followers, and then
Oh my
so we
gosh.
started back over at the beginning of November of 2019, and now we are up just over 18,200 people in that group.
Wow.
Most of them work in the music industry, and we've built a very strong community over there, and
That's awesome.
lots of people to work with and answer questions. Pretty much, it covers every genre, and if you have a question about the music business, I'm sure there's someone in there that's probably been through that, and would be more than happy to help you out.
That's
But
amazing. I love that.
some of the things that we do over there is I run a daily stream where people can drop their links into like their YouTube or whatever, uh, for other artists to help support artists. And I also do an artist of the day over there, which puts a spotlight on one single artist every day. And the goal, we just started that up at the very beginning of the year, and it's growing pretty steadily. But the goal is to take an indie artist every day and make him go viral,
Wow.
because we want everybody in the group to just retweet that and make them go viral, so as many people as possible can hear what kind of music that they're putting out. So yeah,
Absolutely.
definitely hit me up on Twitter. It uh,
Definitely. I definitely will.
we're
Thank you.
gonna grow that following. You mentioned earlier that you don't have anything out of your own right now. Um, you've been writing, but you just haven't finished anything and put anything down. Is that
Mhm.
correct?
Yeah. So I would say I really started writing it was kind of a new concept to me as it is, because over the years, I've always wrote little poems. I've always been obsessed with like Shakespeare even, and like I would write a lot of poetry, but I never knew how to put the two together kind of thing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I've been exposed to a lot of different kind of genres. And so I kind of used to do it even like with like my outside gigs that I used to do, like I do pop music, things like that, but I would make it kind of my own and kind of acoustify it and make it, Taylor version of it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I would do country and stuff like that, but it really wasn't until 2020 really where I was like, my voice, I am a country artist and I enjoy country music the most, as
Mm-hmm.
far as, just the storytelling and the relating to it and everything. So then that's when I kind of was like, okay, like that's the kind of genre that I want to write for. And so it kind of took me a minute to get into it in the sense of like understanding how to write one, how to write a song, where do I start, things like that. It was, overwhelming in a way at first.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so now I've actually been finding that, co-writing has been helping me a lot. And I do like monthly co-writes with, you had Stephanie Ryan on here. She's
Mm-hmm.
a really good friend of mine. And we met over this whole like COVID thing
Yeah,
virtually.
yeah. Stephanie's
Um,
awesome.
yeah, she's awesome. And I actually have my first co-write like coming out on February 5th of hers. So I'm super excited about that.
Okay.
She'll be releasing that song on all streaming platforms. But
Okay.
yeah, as far as like my own music, I write every day. If it's a little tiny passage, if it's anything, like the other day I wrote a chorus and I'm like, okay, I'm bringing that to a co-write that I have on Friday actually with an artist that's country in Norway. And so we're gonna see what we can kind of do with it and where we can go with it. But that's kind of, I'm very hard on myself, to be honest. And I think a lot of people at this point, they kind of know that about me. I don't want to put out, just anything. I want to put out something that people can relate to and people can say, that's Taylor Teasley, like that's her style, that's her music.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so I don't want to wait too long, and just, keep putting it off or anything like that. But at the same time, it is important to me to find that right song that I just know this isn't going to be my first single. you know?
Yeah, and that's understandable. And for those that haven't heard you actually sing, uh, you do have an amazing voice. And I actually caught one of your live streams in December when you were with Stephanie and Aaron Cosgrove when you did your
Oh
Christmas
yeah.
show. And yeah, it was an amazing show to catch.
Yeah, it was super fun.
But yeah, so did you want to play anything tonight?
I can, yeah, I can totally play
Okay,
something.
well, why don't you go ahead and play a song? You whatever. I mean, you obviously are doing covers right now, so you pick whatever you feel like playing. I'm going to go ahead and mute my mic while you're playing and let you take the stage.
Absolutely. Awesome, thank you. All right, guys. Well, I'd love to play for something for you guys. This is actually a song by one of my good friends. He actually is from California. He just moved to Nashville this past July, I believe. And his name is Nate Smith. I went to college like 20 minutes away from him, and we just like followed each other and whatnot. And he was super cool, and we always said like, oh, we got to get together. It never happened. But I am obsessed with his writing style. Like, I just think his writing is just beautiful. It is honestly beautiful, and it's very soulful. And I feel that I really relate to it in a way. So this is Reckless by Nate Smith. Loving me ain't easy. I can be like straight up whiskey, straight out the bottle. I don't ever mean to chase down trouble, no, it just finds me. 'Cause I can be a little reckless. Baby, I ain't short on love. I might be a little selfish, but I'll always fight for us not getting caught up, staying out too late, never sending that text. Now you're sitting here wide awake. 'Cause I don't wanna be reckless, like the way I've been loving you. And baby, when it gets dark, the storm clouds are rolling in. You gotta fight those thoughts. It ain't me, it's just the way I am. Cause I can be a little reckless. And baby, I ain't short on love. I might be a little selfish, but I'll always fight for us not getting caught up, staying out too late, never sending that text. Now you're sitting here wide awake. 'Cause I don't wanna be reckless, like the way I've been loving you. Like the way I've been loving you. I just wanna be a little less reckless, a little less reckless. I just wanna be a little less selfish, a little more selfless. 'Cause I don't wanna be reckless. And baby, I ain't short on love. I might be a little selfish, but I'll always fight for us not getting caught up, staying out too late, never sending that text. Now you're sitting here wide awake. 'Cause I don't wanna be reckless, like the way I've been loving you. Like the way I've been loving you. Loving me ain't easy. I can be like straight up whiskey, straight out the bottle. I don't ever mean to chase down trouble, no, it just finds me.
Very, very nice. And
Thank you.
everybody over in the comments is really commenting on your voice and stuff like that.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you. I have my laptop over here to the side so that I can read it, so I don't want you to think I'm just like not looking or paying attention.
I do the same thing. Sometimes you'll see me looking down and stuff, and it's not that I'm not paying attention. I'm trying to catch up on my comments.
Yeah.
And Trissette, do you know Nate?
Let me see here.
I think my friend Trissette, she lives in LA. She's in Australia right now visiting her family. But
nice.
She might know your friend Nate.
I was going to say, wait, I can't see her profile picture on there, but I know Trissette actually. And she is friends with Nate as well, and a writer with him. So I have a feeling it could be. I wrote, she wrote Under My Skin with Nate. Small world. Hey, how's it going? Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, she's a good friend of mine and a good friend of the show. And might be someone that you could hook up with the co-write with too.
Absolutely. It would be an honor to write with her. I think her writing is beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and and that's what this is all about, is connecting other artists with other artists to make music and to get your music out there. And I think you guys would make a pretty good writing duo. She's saying let's do it, so
let's do it. We know where to find each other.
It would not be the first time that we've hooked up artists on the show to collaborate with. So
I love it. Love it.
And actually, you did a very great job on that. And
thank you.
So I know you being out in LA or out in California, the opportunities have been pretty limited for actually playing any live shows or anything like that other than live streams. So what is your plans as they start to wind down the pandemic? Are you really wanting to get out there and play some stage shows?
Yes.
Are you planning on staying in California to do that? Are you planning on heading to Nashville?
Hopefully the pandemic starts to slow down and things can start to, reopen and whatnot. But my plan, honestly, is to get out to Nashville. Don't get me wrong. California is California. It's just for where I'm at. I feel like, and what I want, I feel that I need to be closer to that area, or at least have the option to be in the same room as the people that I am writing with pretty constantly. Is they're in Nashville, they're in the rooms vibing with everyone else. It is different. Don't get me wrong. I love Zoom writes. I actually think they're really cool and really convenient. But there's just nothing like being in the same room with other musicians, just different minds coming together and whatnot. So my plan is I definitely want to get out to the Nashville area when it's safe to, though. As much as I'd love to be there right now or tomorrow, I just don't think that's a safe option right now.
And well, probably not right now. Hopefully, as more and more people get the vaccine and things like that, and we can start opening things up, that it'll start clearing things, and maybe towards middle to end of summer, going into the fall, we'll be in a lot better shape than we are right now. I've actually interviewed several artists that are from the California area. I mentioned Erin Cosgrove. She went to Florida for a while, into Nashville. Another good friend of the show, Peyton Howie.
Oh, yeah.
She actually relocated to Texas so she could actually play some live shows because of the looser restrictions and stuff there. And she's been a very busy girl.
Yes.
Pandemic, playing lots of shows and things like that. I think she's actually getting ready to drop some more new music.
Yeah. She did like some promo video I think the other day
Mm-hmm.
about, because I talked to her before regarding, how she's from California, but she moved out to Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think honestly, I love her music. I think she definitely has something there. I mean, I listened to her Trouble, that song Trouble. It's
Mm-hmm.
good. Like, it's really
Yeah.
good. Like, I can't wait to see what else she comes out with.
Yeah, she F-150 was the first song of hers that
Yeah.
I heard, and then of course I catch flights, and then she dropped Trouble, and yeah, I've been talking with Peyton for a while, and it's been a couple weeks since I've actually spoke to her because she's been so busy.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, she's got a very bright future, and it was
Absolutely.
it was kind of funny as she did a show on the 4th of July. Uh, it was like Freedom Jam in St. Louis,
Yeah.
and almost every single one of the artists that were on that stage has been on this show.
Oh, cool.
We've had Molly Lovett on here. We've
Oh.
had Sarah Faith on here. Uh, I believe S.J. McDonald played in that show. Peyton played in that show,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, it's just it's gonna go down as one of those shows that like I can't believe this group played together,
Yeah.
and I missed that show. And but yeah, bunch of very super talented female country artists
Oh, for sure.
out now, and I'm I'm a big fan of equal play, and I've been trying to uh, help get that more established because not that I have anything against the fellas, but for every one guy country artist that you could name now, I
Yeah.
can name five females that are just as deserving as they are to have their music played on the radio. And it's nothing against Miranda Lambert and a few other ladies, but
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot more of them out there than just two or three of you.
Yeah.
And that's basically all that you get to hear on regular mainstream radio. I'm lucky enough to have satellite radio, so
Oh,
I can
cool.
find some uh, more deeper cuts from unsigned artists and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
most people that just listen to regular AM, FM radio, they don't get to hear
No.
all the great voices that are out there that just don't have the big money behind them.
Yeah. No,
So,
I mean, it's true. For sure.
yeah. Well, why don't we take a minute and you tell everybody where they can find you on all your social media and if you have a web page or anything like that?
Absolutely. So, Instagram is my biggest platform to, get in touch with me. I love talking to new people and meeting new people. That's kind of where I upload my most content frequently. I also have a Facebook, and I do have a TikTok, which I'm being a little bit more active on, and you can find like covers on there too that aren't country, but I make them kind of like my own little thing. But I am actually in the works of creating a website. You can type in right now to Google if you want, and you can just do taylorteasley.com, and you'll see I have like a cover page saying coming soon. It's just a process to actually make it. So I'm working on that kind of daily, just doing, different ideas. Something else that I'm actually thinking about, doing, and it's kind of been another process putting together, is a Patreon. So I know a couple friends of mine who have one and they love it. And I'm thinking about releasing some different like little snippets of maybe original music,
Mm,
a little chorus here and there or a little verse, and then be getting like the first look at it,
yeah.
the first listen. So I made a post today actually about it, about goals. I feel like I have a lot of goals for this year. And I've been, since January, like 1st, I was like, okay, I got to start mapping out and planning. And so like my list is like forever long. It started with like 5 things, and I feel like daily I'm adding something else on there. like I want this, I want to do this. And I mean, I'm a one man show in the sense, I don't have a team, behind me or anything. I do have my family, and I'm really grateful for that. And I have friends, support, from all my fans, everything. But to, put out different content to all of these different platforms, it takes up a lot of time.
It
But
does.
it's something that, I'm passionate about, and I want to give, people that, and I want to put out my original music. That's my biggest goal this year, is to put out original stuff. So in order for everyone to kind of know about it, you can find me. My name is right. Where's the thingy? Okay, right
Just
here,
right there.
right there.
Yeah.
I always do that. I'm always like, wait, where am I?
Yeah. I always I forget it's backwards and I adjust the wrong way when I see something in the
Yeah.
camera. So yeah,
Well, I reached for my water earlier and I realized, wait, my water's not over here. It's over
yeah.
there.
From your
Um,
image, yeah.
yeah. But you can find me right there. There we go. At Taylor Teasley Music, on any platform. The only difference is on Twitter, it is _ Taylor Teasley. Taylor Teasley Music was too long. So it's _ Taylor Teasley. But everywhere else, you can literally go to, okay, Taylor Teasley Music. I have a link tree in my bio, and you can find all of my socials there. So, yeah.
Um, okay, definitely do the Twitter invite as soon as we get done with the show, and
Definitely.
actually, I'll go ahead and send it to you now. I'll go ahead and follow you now
Oh, perfect.
because some of the things. I mean, we have all sorts of people. We got people that do videos. We do people, graphic designers, producers, musicians of all genres and stuff like that. Willing and they will work with you, and it'll make your life a whole lot easier once you start connecting with some of these people. And
Yeah, absolutely.
that's the name of the game, is making it a whole. If I can get my Twitter to work on my phone, I don't know what it is. It's not been wanting to work lately on my phone.
There we go. I'm just trying to, I commented back to some of you just to say thank you. I just appreciate all of you guys being here. It really means so much to me, all of your guys' support. I'm not kidding. And I feel like I'm known, like, I probably say it, I don't know, too much. But I just want you guys to know, like, how much you mean to me. And, even this, I'm appreciative, to do these kind of Q&As and just having the chat, it's fun.
Uh, and we appreciate you being on here, and especially we've already found someone for you to co-write with, so we're doing pretty good. I'll give myself a little pat on the back. I just love it when I can help artists get together like that and see what they come up with. Some of the stuff that we've had from the collabs of people that have met through the show has just been completely insane. How good of stuff that they've put out there.
Yeah.
And so you were mentioning that you had so many goals that you have. Do you want to talk about some of those goals that you got planned for
Absolutely.
yourself? Go ahead.
Well, first, I mean, I writing music is writing music and then releasing music. Those are my top two. I have been trying to do as many co-writes as I can, also just because I love them. Like, I really enjoy co-writing, even if it's someone that I'm barely meeting for the first time. I just think it's really cool when two separate minds come together and can, make something. I don't know. I just think that's super cool. But those are two of my biggest goals, is writing music. I want to write as much as I can this year. And then releasing music. I need and I want to release music so badly. And I want to do, some type of and I don't know with COVID, how it's going to happen or how it's going to work, but go around to these places that, I've met so many people on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and that's kind of been a big one for me too on TikTok. And one of my covers I did on there, I did a Beatles cover, "Come Together," and that kind of went kind of viral a few months back. And so I've met a lot of people on there, and they're so supportive. Like, I am so grateful for all the people who are just, they go out of their way to let you know, like, hey, I really enjoy your music. And to me, that means a lot, because I feel that with technology, we've lost a lot of that, especially, people being at home. There's not that face to face contact, and so I just really appreciate that. So, what I really want to do at some point is I want to, kind of meet those people, or like, like do shows in or near their areas, where they could come out and, I could say, what's going on? Like, and thank you. And actually in person, so that's something that I really, really would like to do. I definitely want to go out to Nashville. Like, that is one of the top goals of mine too. And, with COVID, probably be a lot easier, without COVID, I should say, maybe a lot easier to, just get out there and whatnot. But for me, it's a health risk. So it's kind of, as much as I want to be out there, it's just, I know that right now it's probably not the safest for me to go. But those are, a couple of my goals. It's the biggest one that's on my mind, every single day, like 25/7 is releasing and writing music that I can give, and show, everyone, like, hey, look, this is my story. This is me. That's my biggest goal right now.
Okay. Well, you did hit something on the head there. It it's not so much important that you are putting out your own stuff at the moment if you don't think it's the right stuff to put out. The point is you are keeping content out there, and the way people consume things nowadays, their attention spans are almost non-existent. So if you're not constantly putting some type of new content out there for them to absorb, they're going to pass by no matter who you are. Um, so as long as you keep putting that content out there, and people are going to take notice, and then when you do drop your original stuff, it's going to be even that much more special for them.
Yeah.
Especially if you have like the Patron, like you said, and people, you're giving people sneak peeks and stuff like that, because people are going to remember that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Whenever you do get to go out and tour and things like that, they're going to know your name. They're going to see your name, and they're like, all right, I got to go see her in live.
Yeah.
I talked to her online. She's amazing. And not only that, they're going to tell their friends, and then they're going to bring their friends to the shows and things like that. I tell artists all the time to make sure you get merch put up on your website. It doesn't have to be anything special. As you can see, I got photos back here of some of the artists and stuff that have been on the show, and you could do a regular photo for, say, $10 and a signed one for 15 or whatnot. I was actually did an interview with Music Marketing Academy out of England, and we were kind of brainstorming, and he told me that some of the bands over there were doing like signed lyric sheets, something as simple as that, put them on their websites, and people will buy those. And as a fan of music, it becomes like a source of pride that if you had that before the artist blew up and everybody knew who they were, like you bust it out and you're like, you know what, I've had this since before no one even knew who this was, and it becomes a source of pride for fans like that. But you seem to be taking all the right steps to make that happen, because you do constantly put content out there. I see you all the time on Instagram. We'll pick up and get you a little bit more involved in the Twitter, and it does kind of get a little bit hectic at times. So I would suggest focusing on one. Once you get it established, then you move to the next one, and then follow. Like I am very established on Twitter. Now I'm focusing more on the Instagram part of it to get that established,
We're opposite.
and uh, and well, different generations, and yeah, the video stuff. It took me a little bit longer to get used to doing some of that. But of course, now I'm building on YouTube, and I'm kind of like saving. I have a Facebook, but I'm kind of saving that toward the very last
Mhm.
because at first on Facebook, until you start building a reputation, you almost got to advertise on Facebook,
Yeah.
and right now the advertising dollars just aren't there for one. But yeah, so just focus on one at a time, and you're pretty well established over on Instagram. So it sounds like you're doing quite well on TikTok as well. So you've already hit two major ones that people are going to see because that's video content. Um, the other one, Twitter, just makes it easier to direct people to your video content. Because if you drop your Instagram link in Twitter, then people are clicking on it. It's automatically taking them over to Instagram or taking
Yeah.
them to TikTok or wherever your YouTube, and it's just basically an easy advertising source because all you really got to do is just drop the link in there, and people are going to click and go. So
I'll have to ask you for some pointers because I'm not good at Twitter. I figured that out. I'm not very, and I had one years and years ago, but I didn't know what the heck to post on it. So I was like, well, and it wasn't music related. I just had like a
you
personal
know, I
thing.
barely post anything other outside my stream where people drop their links, and once you see it you'll know what I'm talking about. There's like people 250 300 artists every day dropping their links in there for people to go see it, and we get anywhere from 10,000 to 40,000 people who view that stream every
Wow.
day. And I mean, so you dropping your stuff in there is like playing an arena every day. And then now we're doing the artist of the day, which we just started it, and it's starting to really pick up momentum. But we're seeing upwards of 30,000 people seeing that one individual uh,
Nice.
every day. So
Crazy.
basically, once you find your niche over there,
Mm-hmm.
it's pretty easy. You don't really have to drop a lot of quotes and stuff like that. Basically, it's once you start dropping your links, the people that start liking and commenting on your stuff, just interacting with them, having regular conversations, and that's how it all starts.
Yeah.
But we can go over that more later.
Yeah.
If you would like to, we'd like to hear another song.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to. Alrighty, here. Let's see. I have my guitar strap here, just not, I don't have to put it all the way around. um, I'm sitting. So, also, just so you guys know, I've been getting actually comments on TikTok about my guitar straps. I have a couple different ones, and they are all made by the same business. It's In Designs Leather. Um, Honestly, softest leather I've ever had, guys. So if you are looking for a guitar strap, they're the people to look to. I'm not kidding. It's just so well, and it's all handmade. So I just thought I'd throw that out there since I said something about a guitar strap. All right. So we're gonna do a little bit of Hardy. I, especially over the last couple months, I'm known to have a rasp in my voice. Kind of just, I don't know how to describe it. I don't hear what everyone else hears, but I know I have a rasp. And it's always difficult to find female artists that I can relate to in a sense, with my kind of style of vocals. And I've noticed now more than ever, kind of artists like Morgan Wallen or Luke Combs, even Hardy a little bit. They have that rasp kind of rawness behind their vocals. And that's kind of something that I relate to. I don't know.
And I noticed that in your first song, and I didn't bring it up, but actually, that is very hard to find in a female artist. So that makes you very unique and a female artist with that in there. And I think you work it perfectly. So
Oh,
I just
thank
want to
you.
drop that nugget in there.
Thank you. And it took, I'm not going to lie, over the years, I don't want to say I wasn't comfortable with my voice. It's more of I didn't know what my voice could do, if that made sense. Because I do live in the LA vicinity and we're very pop cultured here. And so you have a lot of these, you have a lot of these singers that can really belt out these notes and their voice is crystal clear, and I didn't have that kind of vocal. And going through college, I was in a pop band where we traveled and went to Hawaii. And even then I knew, I was like, gosh, I can't sing these songs. And so it's been a journey. I mean, I've been singing my whole life in the sense of doing, choirs and, things like that in school. But it really wasn't until, I was 13 and I decided to teach myself guitar. I was like, oh, I wonder if I can sing, at the same time kind of thing. And turns out, I was like, cool, like I think I can kind of do this. But then I realized that I didn't sound like everyone else, especially I was on the radio. Colby Calais was actually the one that inspired me to learn guitar. But it's always been something that I kind of, over the years, it was a struggle to kind of find who I was and what my voice could do. So now I'm kind of like, it is what it is. I have a raspy vocal. Um, so with that, I will sing you guys another tune that I'm kind of obsessed with. So this song is called Sign Sober You. Third shot down, I'm in trouble. I'm a newly single girl, saying double. Fake a smile for all my friends, then go home alone around 2 a.m. Then stumble through the front door, gone as it gets. Flip the kitchen light on, there it is on the fridge, just my luck. Read this if you're drunk. And don't think about it, sister. Don't even touch your phone. I know you think you miss him, but I promise you don't. And there's healing in the lonely. Sit back, kick off your boots, and you'll thank me in the morning like you always do. Sign sober you. And P.S. There's pizza in the freezer, Dumb and Dumber on the TV. It's so stupid, that's what you'd be, to go digging through his Instagram. If you're thinking about that, read this again. So don't think about it, sister, and don't even touch your phone. I know you think you miss him, but I promise you don't. And there's healing in the lonely. Sit back, kick off your boots, and you'll thank me in the morning like you always do. Sign sober you. Sign sober you. Yeah, well, remember last time that you hit him up, you hurt some other girl. How much does that suck? That sent you back a month. Yeah, trust me, old friend, you don't want to go down that road again. So don't think about it, sister. And don't even touch your phone. I know you wanna kiss him, but I promise you don't. And there's healing in the lonely. Sit back, kick off your boots, and you'll thank me in the morning like you always do. Sign sober you. Sign sober you.
Very good, excellent. Yeah, while you were playing, a couple of us were thinking of other female artists that kind of had that rasp in their voice. So think like a Janis Joplin or a Tracy Chapman, even Melissa Etheridge. Embrace that and make that part of your own. And I think that's going to make you stand out as a female artist. Just having that, because that's an aspect that not all of them can imitate. And
yeah,
so
yeah, and I kind of get a lot of time I get like, or even like Stevie Nicks. I get a lot of like, especially like even on like TikTok, stuff like that. I get a lot of people who say like, you know, Janis Joplin, Stevie Nicks. I have gotten the Tracy Chapman kind of vibe. Mm-hmm. But it is something that I totally like. Now I'm kind of like, all right, I gotta own it. Like, you know, that's my voice.
And that's just it. I mean, you only got what to work with, what you got. So whenever you find something, take it, own it, and make it your own. And you do a good job of that. And I for one am really excited for when you do start releasing your own stuff to see what you come up with. I think it's going to be pretty amazing.
I hope so. I mean, honestly, it's exciting for me to actually like. Right now, I don't know if I've ever been so excited like for where I'm at, in the sense, because I can't wait to release something. For me, that's like top, like right there for me, because it's something that means a lot to me, and it's something that I'm going to be putting out to people to say like, hey, this is who I am. Like, this is who I am as an artist. Like, and the fact that there's people out there who want to support that, it just, that just means so much to me, you know?
And yeah, I mean, the talent level is there, and you're doing all the right steps to keep your name and stuff out there. I'm sure whenever you find that right song that you're like, all right, this is the one, this is my first single, and you release it, you're just gonna blow the top off of things. I really don't have a doubt about that. And who knows, Trissette's all willing to co-write with you. Maybe you guys will write the one that you decide then
maybe
is and
yeah, absolutely.
But just yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing what you come up with, and for you to start releasing music that is you, because part of the reason why we started doing these podcasts were for the fans to kind of get to know the artist more on a personal level, and that way, whenever they do hear your original music, then it's easier for them to connect with that music. And it makes it for people who enjoy music and don't just listen to music, but actually enjoy the music, and they want to feel that connection between themselves and the artist and kind of make that synergy. I think it's just another step in the process to help things along like that.
Yeah, and that's kind of like one of the biggest things for me with releasing music. I want, you know, the people that are supporting me and the people that are listening to me, I want them to be
Mhm.
able to, relate to that. Or, even like the little like snippets of like cover songs that I've put out like on TikTok or things like that. People are like, wow, like this is just what I needed. Or
Mhm.
I really enjoyed listening to the song. It's perfect, for where I'm at right now in my life and like stuff like that, And so that's what I want my music to do. I want it to, affect people in a way where it's relatable, and people want to listen to it. It doesn't just come on, their Spotify or their Apple Music and they're like, like whatever, okay, and skip it.
Mhm.
I have so many expectations, I guess, for myself. I think that's probably a lot of our own enemy in the sense as writers and as artists is that we put so much pressure on ourselves. But at the same time, I think it's a good pressure because it means I care.
Yeah.
And I'm passionate about that.
Yeah, I can't remember who it was that I was talking to about this on one of my previous shows, but I just can't imagine what an artist would feel like when you've already played your set and you're out there doing like a little meet and greet afterwards, signing merch and stuff like that, and someone comes up to you and they talk about one of the songs that you wrote and how it made them feel, and it's the exact way you felt when you wrote it, and you're like, that person gets it. It's
Yeah.
that I imagine it would be the equivalent of the teacher who has that one student that just
Yeah.
gets it, and then you're like, yes,
Yeah.
that's what that he made it. That one person makes it all worthwhile,
Yeah.
and
That's a memory alone too. If
and
someone tells you.
yeah, and I don't have anything in my life that I could quite equate to that, but I could just imagine the overwhelming sense of pride that an artist would feel in that situation.
I can only imagine. I mean, nothing like that as far as like my original music, has ever,
Yeah,
nobody's
I
really
mean,
heard a lot of my
you're,
stuff, but
you're just kind of starting out now, but the more people hear your music and stuff like that, I'm sure uh, the more that you'll get. But from what I'm understanding, is it's kind of a rare thing when people actually tell them that, yeah, when they say this is what I was feeling, and that song makes me think of something, and the artist is like, yes, that it's a rare thing, but I can imagine just how incredibly uh,
oh, I'm sure it's a
proud it would make the artist, because
humbled
you're like,
feeling.
I got my that's the message that I wanted to get out, and this person gets it. So, and that's when you're doing something right, when you make someone else feel what you were feeling when you wrote the song,
Yeah.
and why you wrote it, and that's kind of what music is all about, because you can take anybody you want, take what music they listen to at any given time, and make a whole story of their life just by the song that they would listen to whenever they're sad or when they're happy
Yeah.
and things like that. And it'll and that's the great thing about music.
Yeah. I mean, that's my goal, in the sense of I want people to feel, I mean, when we're sad, we want to listen to sad music, or
And yeah, and this is actually a pretty exciting time for people who love music, because like uh, when I was growing up, there was the country, there was pop, there was rock, there was defined genres of music, but now everybody just kind of intermingles in there, and it's just becoming music, and it's actually a pretty exciting time just to see how people put all those different elements together,
absolutely.
and to express those feelings. And now more than any time that I can ever remember is just a glorious time for music. And as much as people hate the pandemic, it also gave songwriters the time to set back and reflect on things like that.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I'm sure as soon as people can get back out there and start playing live music and stuff again, we're going to hear just some incredible,
Oh,
incredible
yeah.
music. And it's going to be so much like we've never heard before, and everything's going to be uh, it's going to make things right a lot faster with the
Oh,
music.
absolutely. That
Uh,
and a lot of people are gonna, write, like, for example, like Stephanie. She wrote that song "Nights Like These."
mhm,
Things like that. It's like everyone can relate to it. We're all
mhm.
stuck at home, like
Yeah.
not able to do anything.
Mhm.
And I think there's gonna be even a lot of that in the sense of whether it's staying at home, and being lonely or missing someone or things like that. We're going to hear maybe a lot of songs relating to that, and I think anyone can kind of say like, wow, like I get that.
Yeah, and those are those are going to be important to people, and
Yeah.
music's what's going to make everybody get through all this a lot easier.
Yeah.
It's what has made people get through it a lot easier.
Oh yeah.
I would have I would have hated to see what things would have been like if there was no music going on, and they
Oh, I can't even
weren't just
imagine.
doing live streams or anything
Oh
like
yeah.
that. And uh, this world would be a very very sad, depressing place. I will tell you that right now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I
Um,
back in last April, that's when I did my first live stream in April 2020. But prior to that, I didn't even like my last gig was in March. And I remember for like a month, my last gig was like, and like 2 days later, the lockdown hit.
mhm.
And so all my shows were canceled. And I remember for like 3 weeks, I was like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? Like, what do I do? And I was like, thank God for technology.
Mhm.
Like,
Uh,
being able to do this.
I believe me. I know a lot of people. Talk to a lot of people that some of them had whole tours canceled, and for the first several weeks, musicians were panicking. They're
Oh
like,
yeah,
"What do I do?" And
yeah,
picking up and doing the live streams, I know it's not the same. You're singing to a camera uh, and not to a crowd. You don't get to
mm-hmm.
feel the energy from the crowd,
No,
and vice versa. But it's important that people took advantage of that and kept their face out there, got their names out there for
mm-hmm.
people to hear their music, because those people are going to remember when the lockdown's over.
Yeah,
Those are the people that are going to buy your merch. They're the ones that are going to stream your music. They're
mm-hmm.
the ones that are going to buy tickets to the show. And as a fan of music, once people actually start getting out to do shows again, people that aren't used to selling out shows before, those shows are going to sell out because people are just going to want to go out and hear music and have a
Yeah,
good time. They're going to want to dance. They're going to want to just chill out, have a few drinks, listen to some music. And
absolutely.
I think the response is going to be, it's just going to be a little bit overwhelming to the artist who just isn't prepared for something like that to happen. And I know my favorite way to listen to music is live.
Mm-hmm.
Love the
Oh yeah,
live streams, but it's not the same as just sitting there. I mean, I've been known to be walking down the strip in Vegas, hear some music, and stop. I'm going in here and
oh yeah,
take the whole group, and we're going in here, and we're going to sit down, and we're just going to listen to the music for a while. And actually, I found a great dueling piano bar that way.
oh
that
cool,
now we go back to every time we go to Vegas, and it's just an amazingly good time. So,
that's awesome.
but yeah, for the people who love live music, uh, as soon as they say, oh, yeah, these venues are going to open back up, the ones that can open back up,
Yeah,
we've lost a lot of great ones because of this.
yeah,
But the ones that can open back up are just going to be as packed as they can be,
oh yeah,
and it's going to be that way for quite a while.
oh definitely, yeah. But
And
I think, like you were saying, like the artists, that have been doing these shows and whatnot, live streaming. Once they do have shows that are out in public, I think it's gonna be killer in the sense like people are gonna want to buy those tickets.
yeah,
At
and
least we can only hope that.
yeah, oh, they're gonna believe me. People who I know plenty of people who are just dying to get
Yeah.
to see some live music, and because even the venues that are open here in Kansas City, they're limited capacity, so they're just the tickets just aren't there for them. And another thing about the live streams that I bring up to artists is this is your perfect test market to try new things with your music, because you know the people that are watching are already fans of yours. So if you try something new here and it doesn't work with the fans that you already have, then you don't take it to your larger show later. But if you find something that connects with your fans even more, then that's something you can incorporate into your live shows whenever you get back out on stage. And you got to use what you got right now to kind of as like practice, really. I mean,
Yeah.
because you know the people that are there are there because they're your fans, and they're still going to be there even if you do something that doesn't quite work right.
Yeah.
But if you do something that connects with them, they're really going to let you know, yeah, keep that up. I'd like to see you do that live.
Absolutely.
And whatnot. And so you can take small victories like that out of this horrible situation and come out a better artist on the back end of it, and
absolutely.
with a lot more fans.
Absolutely. And I've noticed even, there's always room to grow, and there's always that. When I look back, when I first even started just live streaming in April, oh my God, my first live stream, in my opinion, it was probably rough. My hands were sweating. I was nervous, beyond, because it was my first time. I don't know who's going to view it. You're putting it out to millions of people. Anyone can see that. But you look back at that and you're like, you know what? Even if it's just a little bit, I've grown a lot since then. In my opinion, I can look back at that and be like, you're always going to grow, especially when you have feedback from the people that are supporting you. They say like, hey, I really like this, or like, oh my gosh, I love how you sound, do more like this, things like that. And it gives you input and you're like, okay, like, cool. So you're kind of adapting, and you're growing along the way, and you're finding out more about yourself, which is actually really cool.
And I can relate, because when I first started doing these podcast in September, I mean, those first couple episodes I thought were really, really rough. And the more we do them, the more relaxed and stuff, and the more, it's become what I envisioned when I started them, is that we're just sitting down. We're a couple friends just sitting down, chatting, listening to some music, and it's just like sitting out in the backyard having a jam session, drinking a few drinks and stuff, and it makes it a lot easier than if I was sitting here trying to do like a formal interview and just drilling questions and stuff at you.
Absolutely.
Because I didn't want that. I want people to be relaxed and have fun and a good time on these shows, and maybe learn something. And I learn something every time from artists as well. And it's great to get to know the artist on a more personal level. I mean, as soon as I can get out and start getting on the road, I would like to get out and do these shows live, like go where, if you're gonna be like in Kansas City or something, I could go do a show with you live, or maybe if you're in Nashville and I'm in Nashville, we could do a show like that.
Yeah. Now, where exactly are you at, like, right now? Where?
I am in Kansas City right now.
You're in Missouri, I think.
Well, I'm on the Kansas side because I'm actually in Leavenworth, which is right outside of Kansas City. I just tell people Kansas City, it's easier for them to find.
People know where that's at.
Yeah, and but I am from the Missouri side. I just happen to work on the Kansas side now, and I don't want to pay taxes in both states. So
smart.
But I'm kind of centrally located, so it makes it easier to get to different places.
I think that would be super cool if there was like a live setting, like where you could do something kind of like this in the sense.
And because, well, even from where I'm at now, I mean, Nashville's a 9-hour drive, Chicago's an 8-hour drive, Dallas is a 9-hour drive, Houston's like a 12-hour drive, Minneapolis is an 8-hour drive. So there's kind of where I can get around to different places, things like that. St. Louis is only 4 hours away,
Yeah.
so and of course we have some smaller markets like we have Wichita that's close, and even Oklahoma City's not that bad of a drive to get down to, and Tulsa, and even some of the college towns around, like Lawrence is only half hour away where KU's at. Columbia is only like 3 hours away where MU's at. Springfield, there's some different types of places that are like that, but I'm thinking more of expanding where I can make a trip out to LA and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and or up to Boston or
Nice.
wherever, New York City, things like that.
That'd be cool.
Especially now that Stephanie's moved back to Maine.
To Maine.
She's probably going to be doing more shows and stuff up in that area, and I definitely want to go catch one of her live shows, because we've actually become pretty good friends through meeting here, and she's very nice. Another one, I don't know if you know Sarah Faith.
Yeah.
But she's another one I've become very good friends with, her and her husband. We talk quite a little bit, and so I've met some very good people and through here, and I'm really looking forward to get out and doing. I mean, once I get out to LA and Trissette gets back from Australia, she actually does another type of show on her YouTube, but I have to be present to be on that one, so it's a kind of a different platform, and I just want to try to get things like that.
Yeah, no, that sounds super cool to me.
And definitely want to get out and catch some. I'm hoping that maybe there will be a time where there's a group of us that can meet up in like Nashville or something like that,
Yes.
where there will be several of us there all at one time, and we could just go hang out, have some drinks, do whatever.
Yeah, I was talking to Stephanie about that. It'd be super cool because we all have we all have mutual friends, kind of,
Yeah.
So it'd be kind of cool if we all could do like a meetup, and we're all in one place at the same time.
And yeah, that would be super cool to do something like that. And but I really appreciate you coming on the show. Definitely, anytime you want to come back, you can come back on the show. You just let me know. I sent you the invite on Twitter. You have me on Instagram already, and you know how to get a hold of me on DMs there. Please tag me in all your stuff so I can get it reposted out. And we're going to try to grow that audience. And definitely, if you're going to be releasing any of your own music, let me know so we can get that promoted as much as possible.
Absolutely.
Do that. Is there anything else that you would like to tell the crowd before we end this up tonight?
Yeah, definitely. I just want to say first, thank you for having me on here. It's been super cool chatting with you and getting to know you a little bit too. It just honestly, so at least me as an artist, it means a lot to, have someone that even want to take the time to, chat with you and get to know you and what you've got going on for your music career and whatnot. So thank you. And honestly, thank you to everyone who's viewing this, who's been supporting me, showing me so much support and love. It means honestly everything to me. So I just want to say thank you guys so much. And I have some cool stuff that I'm planning. So if you want to stay tuned on that, head to any of my socials at Taylor Teasley Music, which is right there. Here we go again. I have a hard time, as you can see.
Yeah, it's quite all right. It takes some getting used to. All right. Well, thanks again, Taylor. Like I said, anything you need, you have any questions or anything, please DM me, and I'll be more than happy to help. And it was a pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It was great chatting with you.
All right. You have a good night.
Thank you. You as well.
All right. And before we leave everybody tonight, make sure that the voting is now open for the 2021 Indie Awards. This show is up for Media of the Year. Also, some friends of the show are also nominated in different categories. I know Mike from Three Mind Blight's up for Artist of the Year. Tough on Fridays is in 3 categories like Band of the Year, Guitarist of the Year, and Bassist of the Year. Abby Kay on bass, who was the Artist of the Day yesterday, she's up for Bassist of the Year. Please go to iwasateenageguitarist.com. They have a list of who's nominated in the categories. Now, to vote, you need to make an email, list a category, list one person from each category or just whatever categories you want to vote for, and then at the very bottom of the how to do it is the email that you send that back to. So you will have to vote by sending an email out. But all the artists out there would very much appreciate if you would just show the support to vote. I'm not pandering for votes. I'm not going for Congress or anything like that. I would be grateful if you would vote for me, but I know there's other worthy people out there as well. So I'm just glad you're watching the show and you're enjoying the show. Make sure as you leave to hit that like button, and also if you haven't hit that subscribe button, then turn those notifications on, because we used to start doing the show once a week on Wednesdays, and now I've kind of conformed because there's so much interest in doing the show that we do it whenever the artists have time. So we could do it on a Saturday, Sunday, different times of the day. I mean, Trissette and I just did one where she was in the middle of the afternoon in Australia, and I was at 8:30 at night here, and I've also done them in the middle of the day here. We did one Sunday with Tough on Fridays that was at 5 p.m. just because that was the available time that they had to do it. But you can catch any of the back shows on the YouTube channel, and I hope to see you all for the future live shows as well. But please, if you get a chance, go to iwasateenageguitarist.com and vote for those 2021 indies. The artists will all be super stoked that you showed the support. All right, well, thank you all, everybody, and you have a great evening.